Over the last few years, YouTube has more and more rapidly transformed into a platform that protects the interests of corporations first instead of, the creators who made YouTube receive any corporate interests in the first place. And this year in particular has seen several changes to the platform that I think illustrate this shift in focus more clearly than ever. And so I figured it would be kinda interesting to do a retrospective on the major changes introduced to the platform this year. This is of course coming from a small creator who is now finishing their first full year on this platform. And for the sake of ethos, that's right, I took an AP English class and I hated it. But for ethos or whatever, I'm a creator with just over 6,000 subscribers who started the year with 40. I spent the year making almost exclusively comedic commentary videos and video essays. Like, the one you're watching now, so you probably figured that out by now, huh? Yeah. And I had a weekly upload schedule that I never wavered from except for when I did. Ethos. And while it doesn't make the most sense to put this first structurally, obviously the thing everyone is talking about right now is YouTube's decision to remove dislikes across its platform, so I'm going to start there. Rewind. By the way, rewind would have made more sense to put first, but we'll get there. On November 10th, YouTube announced that every video's dislike count would be hidden from everyone on the platform except for the one who uploaded it. The reason they ultimately cited for this change was that it protected the interests of small creators like myself. You see, I've made videos criticizing the actions of exclusively larger creators or mainstream celebrities. If any of those people felt so inclined to retaliate, a video sitting at 95% or more likes could become 90% disliked overnight, right? Makes sense, and YouTube is technically accomplishing their goal of at least slightly dissuading brigading, but I made the not-so-bold claim that YouTube's decisions were motivated by corporate interest, right? Well, how does that apply here? Well, you see, corporations have started to publish all of their announcements on YouTube, right? Well, what happens when a corporation's plan to make money is negatively received due to it being an anti-consumer practice. For an example, look no further than Ubisoft's video announcement of their integration of NFTs into their video games. A video that, mind you, was sitting at 95% dislikes because it was a bad decision. Or how about Nintendo's decision to offer a premium form of their online membership that costs over double the base price, despite their existing online services still being incredibly lacking 5 years into the Switch's lifespan. And how can you forget YouTube Rewind 2018? Literally the most disliked video of all time due to its attempt to appeal exclusively to advertisers. Being able to dislike anti-consumer moves like this were kind of the only way to quantify people's reactions to exploitative decisions. And while it wouldn't necessarily result in change, it prevented the company from being able to pretend the reception to their services was any different than it really was. But now that's gone. A few deleted comments later, and corporations, malicious content creators, anyone can effectively create good PR for any situation. That includes YouTuber apologies and comebacks too, by the way. And since this announcement, the vast majority of creators of all sizes, myself included, have expressed disapproval of this decision. And for me, it's mainly because YouTube doesn't actually care if I get brigaded. And this is coming from someone who has, to a very limited extent, experienced brigading. Because anytime one of my videos is posted onto Reddit, whether it's by me or someone else, I receive a significant influx of dislikes from people who just don't like my face or don't like a potential case of self-promotion. Either way, it's almost exclusively people who don't watch more than 30 seconds of the video. I'm not being defensive about that, by the way. I don't really care if people don't think my content is for them. I'm literally making this claim with help from my analytics. And even with that experience in mind, I still think this is ridiculous BS. Let's say a larger creator, we'll call him Meme Star, decided to send his audience, that's hypothetically of course, exactly 1,000 times larger than mine after me. Because of this, my personal information is leaked, I get doxxed, I get swatted, I get people saying they want to do things to me that honestly, I'd rather they didn't. Does Meme Star, a hypothetical creator who has literally sent his audience to swat people, hypothetically receive any kind of punishment from the platform he does this on? No. So cops unalive the dog I don't have, they let my cats get out, and cause me to need a change of pants, all because I criticized someone. Oh, but dislikes are hidden. I feel so much safer. If this was a matter of smaller creators, then YouTube could easily implement this feature exclusively for smaller creators. Let's say until you hit 1 million subscribers. I'll be generous. Dislikes are automatically hidden. Notice this also fixes the point that turning off dislikes manually opens you up to backlash. But if you're a news reporting website or any other company, you don't receive access to this feature because everyday people have a right to evaluate both their news and investments. Call me crazy, I know. You know what, let's apply that to tutorials as well, since accuracy in tutorials is incredibly important and less susceptible to brigading. 5 minutes, guys, that's all it took for a better solution than YouTube is ever going to implement. Yeah, I'll take my check now, Susan. Thank you. The next really big change was that this year, YouTube announced that they would discontinue their annual tradition of producing a montage / music video / recap of that year's trends and notable moments on the platform, YouTube Rewind. You see, the reception of the tradition gradually deteriorated from beloved to hated and memed, and that's putting it lightly. The most interesting thing here, though, in my opinion, is how perfectly YouTube Rewind's descent represents the state of the website as a whole. 2012 to 2016 Rewind felt like a party meets Where's Waldo. Spot your favorite creator, put together all the Easter eggs, you get it. Hey, 2016 was even opened by The Rock and closed by James Corden when he was kinda well liked. Oh, that's so cool. This is when celebrities were really starting to embrace the platform. So, oh, and The Rock has a fanny pack on. Cool meme reference. Such a cool one-time thing. See, 2017 is starting with 2 of the platform's biggest creators being interviewed by Stephen Colbert, who has the opening line and helps close Rewind, as people were fed up with late-night television dominating the homepage. Leading to finally 2018, where Will Smith opens and closes the video in a dedicated segment, in a video that refused to even reference the platform's biggest and admittedly controversial creator in ways that would have been brand-friendly, such as just a reference to the PewDiePie vs. T-Series meme. Shout out to Jaden, though. And this kind of reflected the shift to YouTube focusing on corporations and established celebrities. And sure enough, 4 months later, April 14th, 2019, was the last time the most subscribed to YouTube channel wasn't a brand. In fact, as of today, YouTube is the 4th most subscribed to channel behind 3 brands. All this to say that 2021 being the year YouTube abandoned Rewind kind of fits, as it feels like the year they've completely abandoned being a creator-centric platform. Which brings me to the disastrous state of copyright enforcement on YouTube this year. You see, copyright on YouTube is a smelly, steamy mess. When a company decides to claim that a video violates their copyright, the creator of that video can appeal the decision. Makes sense, right? And given the disagreement, of course, the final verdict would logically then be made by the company claiming copyright issues. So if they make a wrongful claim, they can just decide, no, they didn't. Not even members of the partner program can get YouTube to intervene. It is literally just to hell with you. And mind you, you can only enforce copyright for either your own content or the content of creators you represent, at least legally. And a standing copyright claim means the company makes whatever profits come from the AdSense on your video. But who would ever abuse such a system all in the name of money? Yeah, fun fact, it already happened to me, Johnny effing Nobody. I made a video criticizing a Trisha Paytas film. It received a copyright claim from Superbam Inc. Strange thing though, Trisha publicly denied any affiliation with the company, saying Superbam had no right to act on their behalf. I sent Superbam this proof and they backed down. Mind you, I just so happened to have a written statement from the creator in question denying any affiliation with that specific company because this exact thing happened before. So either Superbam Inc., a company endorsed by MatPat, attempted to wrongfully steal the literal $10 I made off of that video. $10! And mind you, at the time, that was one of my top earning videos. Or they're representing a known compulsive liar, and when this liar denies their professional relationship, Superbam is just cool with that. I've wanted to make a video on this for months now, but at least I got to mention it here if I can't get around to it. But do you see how messed up that is? And I've received no clarification for what happened, received no options to report the wrongful claim, and wasn't informed the claim would go exclusively to Superscam until after I submitted it. Weird. A big company would have been allowed to steal a completely independent creator's, $10, and there's nothing I would have been able to do about it. Good flarking system, YouTube. Swearing. I'm gonna talk about swearing now. I know. Such a good segue. Totally natural. You never saw it coming. Basically, I don't even know if I can curse on this platform anymore. Simple and elegant, right? Basically, YouTube was at one point a wild west of ads. Pretty much anything could be advertised on for a while. That was until, of course, advertisers began to crack down on what content they wanted their ads to appear on. Vanilla Ice's biggest hit shouldn't exactly be sponsored by Coca-Cola, you know? And yes, I made that stupid joke on purpose, you'll see why. But this led to the adpocalypse, where tons of creators lost unimaginable amounts of income with no warning. And eventually, YouTube basically started to demonetize anything with cursing as well. It was inappropriate for kids, despite YouTube not being a website for kids. If only there was, I don't know, a kids version of YouTube, or maybe parents who monitored what their kids watched. Bro, PBS Kids is free. Zaboomafoo. Can't recommend it enough. But this year, YouTube said they were loosening restrictions, allowing creators to swear again without being demonetized. But I still went from having a potty mouth to just not cursing anymore. Why? Because I have no guarantee that YouTube won't reverse this decision later. The way they've already been going back and forth on this. And I also have no guarantee that, even without demonetization, they won't suppress the videos that feature inappropriate language now or in the future. Because that's frankly what matters more to me. Obviously I don't make a lot of money on YouTube, but if I spend 30 to 50 hours on a video, I should at least be a little confident in whether or not I'm shooting myself in the foot when it comes to introducing my content to more people. Frankly, I just don't trust YouTube anymore to be straight with me, so even though my channel is explicitly for adults, I still have to think of the children. Yet YouTube has no problem with kids being exploited by their parents in exchange for mansions and millions of dollars. Priorities, right? Seems like good decisions over on YouTube are in short supply. YouTube Shorts. All right, let's discuss YouTube Shorts, shall we? Basically, YouTube Shorts is the YouTube response to TikTok. It puts vertical videos under a minute in a dedicated section of your YouTube app. Though I am kind of surprised it's not a separate app yet, but whatever. Anyway, other than being transparent corporate pandering, I don't mind YouTube Shorts. I think it's a good thing to give creators the option to do, but God, I think the vast majority of creators should stay away. Coming from someone who tried to experiment with the format for a bit, it would make no sense for me to focus on shorts. I make long-form content, right? 15-minute long videos have kind of become my minimum, which is just great for weekly output. Why do you ask? But if I made shorts that went viral and gained me, let's say, 20,000 subscribers, my subscriber count would quintuple, so I'm set, right? Yeah, except all of those people are following me for short-form content. That does not in any way mean they are going to watch a 20-minute long video essay, which would cause my click-through rates to plummet, which would mean my videos would almost never get blessed by the algorithm again. Because while I'd have more subscribers, all YouTube sees is a lack of interest from them in what I'm making, which doesn't benefit me in the long term even slightly. But if you make exclusively YouTube Shorts, you severely limit your potential down the road, as it isn't monetized nearly as well as long-form content. And you can try a long-term mix, but then you risk dividing your audience in half. It's the same reason that, despite the fact that I love making videos on gaming, I rarely do so. I don't want this to be a gaming-only channel, so if half of my content was gaming-related and half wasn't, well, now half of my audience wants to see me talk about only gaming and half literally anything else. Bye-bye early click-through rate and bye-bye algorithm blessings that are already incredibly fickle to start with. If your only goal is to gain subscribers, then I feel like, yeah, shorts will be great. But how great is it going to be if none of those subscribers watch your main content? I don't know, I could be completely wrong here, but it's something that's been on my mind for a while now, and I'm really curious to see what this part of the platform is going to look like in 2 years. And that's where we are now. Now, far be it for me to act as the be-all, end-all voice for the state of YouTube as a platform, but I wanted to put together kind of a retrospective for this year. Because honestly, this has been the most interesting shift in YouTube's priorities since 2018, at least to me. Either way, though, a lot has happened on this platform in the last year, and as a relatively new, relatively small creator, it's really interesting for YouTube to be shifting in the opposite direction that I want, while it insists on using me or creators like me as an excuse for why they're making at least some of these decisions. It feels grimy to me, and of all the things I don't like, I think that part of it is really what grinds my gears the most here. But, just a heads up, don't be surprised if next year I change my channel to Jimmy Robbins Inc., just so YouTube has a reason to maybe possibly make a single decision that acts in my best interests. But don't worry, even then I'm not holding my breath. Bye! Hi, it's me. The video's not over yet. The essay is, but the video's not, because I wanted to say something really quick. As an end-of-year sort of thing, recapping on what's been going on YouTube in the past year, it would feel very insincere to not acknowledge and thank everyone for the incredible support this channel has seen this year, honestly. Going from 40 subscribers to 6,000 in a year. I don't know why that happened. I'm still getting used to that, but honestly, it's really cool, it's really nuts, and to see my content resonate with so many people has been awesome. So thank you guys for all the support, and as a heads up for next week, I'm going to be doing a retrospective on 2021 in gaming. And I know what you're thinking, wouldn't it make more sense to do the video on gaming on Christmas and the video on business on New Year's? And I absolutely agree, but I didn't think of this video until Wednesday at 2 a.m. So I spent 5 hours writing it, went to sleep, woke up, finished writing it, immediately started recording, and now I'm going to edit for 24 hours so I don't work on Christmas. Happy holidays. But my whining aside, seriously, thank you guys. It's been just really cool to see my content be well received by people and just to build this really thoughtful little community that I really enjoy interacting with. So thank you. That's way too much sincerity, so I'll go back to being a sarcastic a-hole next week because I can't say ass apparently. So yeah, I don't know, that's it. But hey, thanks for watching. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. It actually really helps me out a lot. I make comedic commentary videos, critiques, and video essays every Friday, and if you're not convinced yet, you can check out a recommendation above. Alright, well, thanks again. Bye!